Hi guys, it's May 30th and here on Forever Foods Farm 2025 Memorial Day tour, even though I'm a little bit late by like a week, but that's okay. Want to start off with the pawpaws. Somebody requested a slower tour, so we're not going to do a running tour, so this one's going to be a little long. But this is the pawpaws. We do have some pawpaws in the back side over there, but I just wanted you to see that we started with 2 trees and now we have a lot. And eventually this is going to become a pawpaw patch, and I think a lot of it is happening by runners, but we're also finding pawpaws in other parts of the yard, so we are getting seeds taken by squirrels over to other places. So let's turn around and we keep on coming up this way. Got some red bud here. The Carolina spice is looking good. And if you look over there, that's the native hazelnut hedge that is doing great. We planted it on the edge of the property and it just looks beautiful. And then we have black walnut here. I'm not talking into the camera. Black walnut here. And then we start to get into more of the elderberry side of things. These are our Adams elderberry. And then I have the, you know, I can't do annual gardening, so I have converted this space into my annual garden space, and instead of doing raised beds, I just threw some big pots down. This is actually gonna hold, this has leaks in it, so just put some holes in it, and this is gonna have sweet potato slips, which are supposed to be coming soon. And then some of the peppers, these are the habaneros. They go in our goomy habanero and our fiery fig sauce. So we're growing some habaneros. Got some tomatoes for my, just for pleasure. And look over here, we've got our passion flower coming. So this is our passion plant and it's blooming beautifully. And that'll, by the end of the summer, that'll take over everything. And then we have our little strawberries. It didn't do very well this year, but that was not a us thing. That was a everybody thing. I think Virginia had a terrible strawberry season. My cilantro is going to flower, so we're gonna let that seed and the seeds will drop down. We didn't plant this, it just came back. And if you notice down here, we got cilantro coming up down there too. That's a win-win. And this is our Adams here. And then we have the row, this row is Scotia, this row is John's, and this row is Scotia. And they're looking great. They're flowering right now, and we are harvesting the flowers right now and putting them in the freeze dryer for teas. So that's happening. We've got the brown turkey fig has gotten really big. We've come up with creative ways to be able to get to the top to harvest, so that's been interesting. But there are, if you look, come up close, we do have some brown turkey figs coming. They're coming. And then come this way, and we've got the June berries, which we've been pretty much letting the birds do this year. We have not been harvesting the June berries. I come out and eat them, and it looks like the birds have almost wiped us out. So they're almost gone. Ignore this mess. But we do have a cherry tree with it's like an aster flower or something underneath there. I forget what it is, but those 2 plants seem to really like each other a lot. It's very interesting. Our weeping cherry, holy moly, we planted that as a little stick about that big, and we dug it out of our friend's driveway and planted it. That's what it's turned into, which in the spring is awesome. It's incredible. And then we have the peony bed, which was beautiful this year. And then there's a tea bush over there. We've planted a young little fig is over in that little mulch section over there. And then come and look at don't worry about these grapes, but these grapes are amazing. The muscadines. look beautiful. See all the little baby muscadines? Love them. And then come this way, follow me. My blooming pomegranate that never gives me a pomegranate. One year I got 3 pomegranates, and I don't know what happened that year and why I got them and why I don't ever get them anymore, but they always look like they're going to turn into a pomegranate, and then the flower just drops off. But that looks very pomegranate-y. But you can see all the flowers on the ground. Witch hazel, looking beautiful. Another baby pomegranate that's supposed to be helping that one out. Look at the gorgeous blob of the triple crown blackberries. They're just, this thing is, just stands on its own. It's doing great. Habitat before harvest. This is creating a tremendous amount of habitat. We get groundhogs running in here, and rabbits are living in here, and it's been kind of fun. Very fun. Watch out for the hole, Kim. This is a gumi. The harvest for gumi is already over, and this is lilac, which has a disease. I'm probably going to be taking this out at some point, but I'm not sure yet. I might just cut it back. And then come on over here. Look at the butterflies. Beautiful. This is a mix of Adams, Native, and Yorks. And they've just sort of filled in quite nice. That'll be a nice harvest on that. And look at our beautiful, it's like a Jefferson, more like a filbert hazelnut. So it's a different kind of hazelnut, a more cultivated variety. But we have a hard time. The squirrels get them, and there's a bug that eats the inside out. But they still provide a lot of shade, and it's pretty cool in here. Planted those as little sticks back in 2006. Secret garden time. So this is our wonderful little, one of my favorite areas, and this is our stinging nettle bed. I've harvested it, I've cut it 3 times now. You can't harvest it once it flowers, but I've just been freeze drying it, making it a powder for my own personal use and my family's use. Really good for allergies. And then we have this gooseberry going crazy. This gooseberry has really taken off this year, and you can see all the little baby gooseberries on there. Look at that. So cool. Hard to harvest, but worth it. Love it. And then again, that's a blueberry bush under there, and it actually has a fair amount of blueberries on it. But what I have found is some blueberry bushes I have out in the open sun, and then some are in the very shaded area, and I'm learning that if we get drought or high heat, the shaded ones do good, and if we don't, then the sunny ones do good. So I kind of like having them all over the place. So that's kind of cool. All right, come this way. Watch out for the stinging nettles. It's got some June berries here. Going down into the swale. We got the hugel feeding all the water to all our trees and bushes in the area. Here's another shady blueberry happening. Underneath of this red bud has gone crazy. I mean, look at all the pods. And we harvest the flowers for, look at that. I'm gonna have these all fall to the ground. I'm gonna have red buds everywhere. It's gonna be crazy. Nitrogen fixing tree, very nice to have. But we also have hibiscus planted underneath of there. So these are gonna flower. It's a hardy hibiscus. So these will flower into really pretty white and pink flowers. And there's an apple tree in there. I think it's a Empire apple. And this is our native. So our native has already kind of gone through the flower, the native elderberry. And you can see here we got our little baby elderberries. And this will be one of the first ones that'll turn into berries that we can harvest. Those in the Scotia. We have a Rainier cherry tree here. And then this is the, I think this is a Liberty apple here. Sometimes there's apples and sometimes not, but usually these apples are eaten by the squirrels. So we never get those. And this is Lespedeza. It's also called a bush clover because see how it has like the 3 leaves. And this is a nitrogen fixing bush. And we just chop it down, let it grow back up every year, and it's helping feed everything around it. And then we have our little oregano hedge, comfrey in the middle, and then there's salvia next to that, and then at the end is bee balm. So kind of like a pollinator section. But the salvia, if it was warmer, I think the salvia would have already been blooming, but it's coming. It's coming. And look at our Oregon grape. Holy moly. This thing, every day I come out of here, I'm always grabbing some and eating them. And they're not the tastiest, but they're filled with berberine. And I've gotten to where actually I like the taste, but and berberine's really good for regulating your blood sugar. A lot of people take it that are dealing with like diabetes and stuff, but every day I come by and I grab some of those. And we're trying to create more of a lemon balm dedicated area. So we got like a little lemon balm bed. And oh, I forgot, it's horsetail, because this is where the you can see where the gutter comes down, and the gutter makes this area really wet. And this is where the horsetail has sort of taken off and decided it likes, and that's fine with us. And take a look at this whole thing going on. It's kind of crazy. So Adams, York, all mixed in here together, and they are blooming right now. It's very nice. What I have found, we didn't cut all the way to the ground, and what I have found is for the storms and stuff, if we have a major storm, there's really nothing I can do about it. But if I can create enough structure where they can kind of work as a unit, if my elderberry is just standing there by itself and a storm comes, it just falls down to the ground. So, and it's called lodging. So I'm finding that if I can just create these areas that are really dense and sort of more sturdy, that the lodging isn't as big of a problem. I'm hoping. We'll be testing that out probably. There's a big storm supposed to be coming today in a couple of hours. They're even calling for tornadoes, so it makes me very nervous. And then we have here, we got some comfrey, we got the lemongrass, 2 things of lemongrass. We've got, this is a red currant, this is blueberries, this is more of that sunny blueberry that I was talking about. You got the Juneberry. So this is sort of like, you're starting to really get that feel for a food forest, right? And then we've got the garlic that we're just letting go all the way because we love watching the blooms. And oh, Juneberry, so good. We got asparagus, but it's no more pick, so we let the asparagus go. I planted some catnip. Excited about that. Hopefully that'll spread. I got some more lemongrass. Come on. Our bay bush is looking fantastic over there. Let's go this way. So it's always interesting. It's like, which way, what path do we go through? Which way are we going to go? So our black raspberries are in right now. They're coming. So I harvested today. And while black raspberries are here and we're here, we will be harvesting these. But this is some black raspberry, some more gooseberry. And then this is new. It's on its second year, but we put wineberry in and we're amazed at the growth. The flowers, we'll see. We should be getting some wineberries. So I'm excited about that. So remember I talked about the pawpaw? That pawpaw's been like, I find it in other parts of the yard. This is a pawpaw. We didn't plant it. I think a squirrel did. So that's kind of exciting. And we're just gonna let it go because the more genetic, this one is gonna have genetics very different from the other ones. And the more genetics that you have, the better chance you have of pollination. So I'm like, just go for it. Go for it. Then, let's see, that's the forsythia hedge over there. And we'll come, let's go this way. We have some black locust kind of planted in the mix of stuff. We didn't get any mulberry this year, but mulberry is back through there. The mulberry froze, so we didn't get any. The frost got it all. This is another apple, but it doesn't look like any apples made it, and that was probably a frost issue as well. Come on through here, through the magic tunnel. Woo! So right here, we have a blueberry bush. Look. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Well, it's not quite ready yet, but I'm gonna eat it anyway. Yum. This blueberry bush was doing very poorly, and I actually dug it up and put it over here, and ever since I did that. So don't be afraid if something's not working in a spot, don't be afraid to like move it and try it in another spot, because that totally saved this guy's life. And then we have these blueberries. Oh, and poison ivy. Ugh. Anyway, we have 2 different varieties of blueberries, and they're rolling. We're gonna have a nice, hopefully a nice blueberry harvest. And then we have the Japanese maple is coming along. That was from a friend. She came again. We got a stick from somebody dug up out of their yard underneath their maple tree. And my understanding is if we were to go and buy this tree, like $400, I mean, this size you probably can't even buy, but to get like one of these, like in a decent plantable size, it's like $400. So don't underestimate the planting sticks, because it eventually it works. All right, let's keep on going. Going in circles. Another hazelnut over here. This is our, we use a local tree company, and we put the, we give him a call, and we're like, bring us some mulch, and he comes and dumps stuff, and then it just sits here. So this is our mulch area, and that's pretty much all we use. For our beds, we use compost, and then we'll mulch on top. We don't have irrigation, we don't water, so we're kind of at the mercy of Mother Nature, but we like to try to do a little something. Look at the squirrels. All right, over here we have apple mint. We got everywhere. I'm finding seashell growing everywhere, which is great in tea. This is apple mint. We got bee balm. We got another fig variety coming that my friend gave me, and this is fig It's a green ishia. So that's going to be a fig one day. Another tea bush. Actually made some green tea out of that a couple of days ago. It was really good. A couple of tomatoes. This is another fig bush. I have the variety written down. I don't remember what it is at the moment. And then there's another fig there. So eventually this is going to be overtaken by figs. So let's go in the chicken yard. Stop. You back up. Back up. Let her through. All right, we gotta watch out for our new rooster. Smokey is being a pain in the butt. Do you see him anywhere? Where is Smokey? Oh, there he is. So we just gotta watch him because he's fine. I kind of pick him up and ruin his life, but other people he likes to kind of come at. So this is the aronia, and look how good it's looking. I love it. It's doing great. The aronia is doing good over there. We've got aronia in the back corner over there with all the fencing around it. And then we have, you turn over here. We've got, that's an alma fig right here. And this is the Latarula. And the thing that's awesome about the Latarula, I'm watching that rooster, is this will be our first harvest of the season, which won't be too far away. And then look at these little guys here. That'll be our second harvest of the season, which will be later in the summer. So we're gonna have 2 harvests, which is great because that frost that hit us took a lot out, but a lot of it made it, which is really good. And then we have lotus coming up in our pool. Don't you mess with Kim. We got the lotus right here. And our buddy that gave us that, we just basically took the roots and just stuck them in the bottom, and this is not native. We do not want this to get loose in a wild pond because that would be disastrous, but since we're not doing that and it's just staying here, I don't have to worry about it. But it is the most low maintenance thing ever, and the flowers on this are yellow, or are they pink? I don't remember. Pink? Yeah, they're pink. And they're just beautiful. And we do have a frog in here, which makes me very, very happy. We have an Asian pear tree. And this is the Bob Gordon here. And actually, if you come this way, I will show you something interesting. If you look and put that on film right there, see all this down here on the ground? We've had a couple of hard days of rain. That is lodging. And if you notice, this Bob Gordon is by itself. It's not in a big group. It doesn't have a whole lot going on around it. And that's what I'm talking about, the lodging. It's definitely an elderberry thing. This is the jujube, Chinese red date, and there's going to be a lot on here. I'm super excited about that. We're going to have a pretty good harvest this year on the jujube. Yee-hee. And then we have the Matsumoto persimmon, and a lot of the you see that little baby right there? They're coming. Got some persimmons coming. I'm sure the chickens are gonna eat them before I can get to them, but yeah. And then it's just sort of filling in, We've got a gala apple over there. You're probably wondering what the heck, what's going on here? And this is basically when I cut things, I just put them in a pile, and it's kind of like a hugel, but not really. And so because the chickens, you notice there's not like a speck of grass in the backyard at all. The chickens just eat everything, and this provides a lot of habitat for insects and safety. So the chickens can't get in there. It's a space for animals, lizards, whatever, can hang out and not get consumed by chickens. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not real big about like covering that up and stuff. And there's a whole bunch of elderberry back under in here. You kind of see our, come and check out our compost. Here, you go in front of me because I don't want Smokey coming after you. Look at that elderberry bush. The chickens planted that. That is not anything I put in the ground. Chickens did that, which is really cool. So we just cleaned out the chicken coop yesterday, and we have this compost system here, which we take the bedding out. When we scoop all the bedding out, we do deep bedding, and we clean out twice a year. And we take it out, we'll put it in here, and then by the next year, this is the older side. This will be the side that we keep, you know, adding new stuff to, and we'll be using this next season at the end of the year to put underneath the mulch for everybody. So we just have a 2 compost system, and here's our take a peek in our clean chicken coop, which is unusual for it to be clean. But so in here we've got the roost section in here. They love to roost up high, so we've created the roosts up there because they were doing it anyway, so why not? And then there's nesting boxes over here where they lay everything, and this is their home away from home. And there's about 20 chickens here, but we don't harvest our chickens, so they don't, the hens, we may have a harvest of a rooster every now and then, but the hens, they get to stay here until they're ready to pass. It's kind of like, well, anyway, so we probably have like 7 or 8 laying birds at the moment, and the rest of them are just old ladies that are hanging out and having a good time. And I believe that's the end of our tour.